I'm still using up my tortillas, and today I'm going to make a breakfast quesadilla. Now, I know I made a breakfast burrito, so it's kind of similar, but there are some differences. So first off, instead of using American cheese, I actually do prefer a nice Mexican cheese, and I have some left. Secondly, while the ingredients are the same, instead of cooking it in a pot nice and slow and getting it to be super pillowy soft, so in that burrito, it's all creamy-like, I don't want that in my quesadilla, because then it's going to just spill out everywhere every time I take a bite out of all the open edges. The burrito can contain that unctuousness. Also, this allows me to saute up the onion and pepper, which is going to give it a different flavor as well. So there's a lot of different components that are going to be different enough, even though the ingredients are the same. I'm telling you, freezing these little onions and chilies has been so great. These little containers that Ruth got me and Allie, my goddaughter, got me, and then these normal Pyrex, they're just perfect. I used what I needed, and now back in the freezer those will go. And meanwhile, look, this is going to be a delicious little breakfast quesadilla. Now, even with a hard scrambled egg, there's two ways to do it. One is you can beat the eggs first, a little bit of water to give them some extra lightness. Some people like to use milk. Water actually, I think, works better. And then put it right into your pan at high heat, right? But you can also just put them in right out of the shell. And what that does is it gives you a mixture of yellow and white all throughout the scramble. I used to think that was awful, but as my tastes have matured, I just think it's kind of pretty. So normally I'd go right from the shell. Because I'm going one-handed, I'm going to have to use a bowl. Normally they would go right from the shell. And that's another advantage of doing it this way, is that it looks kind of cool, and you don't have to dirty a dish, which I did today. So in they go. And you can see they start to fry right away. But you just immediately scramble them, and you get this beautiful lacing of yellow and white. So if you're going to make a hard scrambled egg as opposed to a pillowy soft one, this is a fun way to add some color and texture. I do it both ways, by the way. Sometimes I scramble it up, sometimes I mix it right in the pan. Now I'm going to do a half moon quesadilla. That's mostly for dietary reasons. I don't want to have two whole tortillas. And look how pretty that came out. So you can see there's bits of white, yellow, red, green, and the bits of onion as well. Again, it looks a little more Hispanic this way, I think, and kind of fun. Well, I ran out of the great Mexican cheese, but I always have cheese sticks and those little cheese squares, you know, the thick rectangular ones. So I grated one of those sharp cheddar ones on here. It's going to be a very fat quesadilla. I should have used one egg. I always forget. And there is my ooey gooey masterpiece. It's almost like a chalupa or something, but that's my quesadilla. Now to try to cut that up. Well, there she is. They cut perfectly. It was totally easy. And I have a little pile of 3 mandarins that I've put in half. So those mandarins are so small, I figured 3 of them is an adult portion. So I got some salsa to dip it in, and it's time to eat. So a nice little salsa-covered bite. So while the ingredients are very similar to that of a breakfast burrito, the differences are the texture of the egg is really different than that soft pillowy. It's a different texture, and it's really fun for variety. And then there's more crisp on the tortilla than there would be on the burrito, which only has a little bit on each side. This has a lot more on the surface area, so you've got a lot more texture and a lot more of that char flavor. And then you also have the crunchiness of the tortilla when you get through it, and all the aromatic vegetables, they develop the flavor because you can saute them ahead of time in the butter and then add the egg. That's something you can't easily do when you're doing a one-pan soft scrambled egg, because the pan would get too hot. So totally different flavor profile. I love them both. And so it's a lot of variety, even with the same exact ingredients.